Trying to see if we can get a few more people in here. Otherwise, it might just be you, Cami.
Lucky me.
Give you the preferential treatment.
Yeah.
Well, in the interest of time, because I don't want to sit here forever, I'll get started. If anybody else jumps in, I know Brenda's out this week, so and this is recorded, so people might go back and watch it, but I'll just let everybody know we transferred email servers here at the city, so all of the old reports that she typically sends out each week, I don't have access to right now, so we might not be sending that normal progress report out via email this week unless I can get my email back up today, because I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday, so we'll see how that goes, but just an FYI on that. So a really quick progress update, and as you've probably seen, we've got sidewalk and the main walkable path back open on the mid block of Ashland, and Vice is working on finishing up the decorative features on that and getting those areas poured so we can get our next subcontractor in there to finish out all the unit pavers that have to go in on those areas, get the trees in, get the plantings in, and all of that stuff. But we are hopeful, I should say, that most of the concrete work on everything, so both blocks, should be wrapping up here by the end of this week, if not maybe a little bit into early next week. But I believe we should have all walkable paths on the block of Ashland between B and Buxton. They're either finished now or they're going to be wrapping up a little bit today. I think they had a few things left to do, but I would imagine those will get finished out today. So with that, again, we're really aiming to get the concrete kind of wrapped up this week, early next week. I know Van Monen's in there doing the electrical work and getting those last things that put in all the electrical that needs to go in with the tree grates and things like that. And then it is my understanding that Van Monen is also going to attempt to get streetlights up at the end of this week, if not into early next week, so we can have everything kind of lit back up at night, which will be really good. I know at the end of next week, and I believe next Thursday, we're scheduled to have pavement markings put down and street signage put up. And then the city is scheduled to do the final walkthrough next Friday. So that would be Friday the 21st. That's really going to be what kind of schedules everything out for the opening. After that, kind of what we go through, what we find. We're hopeful, and we've been pretty good this year on all of these and not having any big issues pop up. But if there is any panels of concrete that need to be replaced or something like that, that's just going to have effect on that final opening. So again, that final walkthrough is happening on the 21st, and then from there, we're hopeful within hopefully a week of that time, maybe a little bit longer, just depending on what is found through those walkthroughs, that everything should be good to go, and we'll get it open back up on schedule, as we've been aiming for this whole time, kind of in that last week of October, possibly into that first week of November. So Tanner, I don't know if I missed anything. Like I said, I think we're getting to a point here where there's just not much to update, because Brian Dozer always has said, it's 80% of the work takes 20% of the time, and then 20% of the work takes 80% of that time. And we're definitely into that 20% of the work being done, taking quite a bit of time, but just a lot of fine details that need to be done. And I think I've stressed that all along. So with that, Cami, if you have any questions, let me know. Tanner, if you have any additional comments, jump on in.
I'm grateful that this site hasn't had big issues other than the gas leaks or whatever, but for the most part, I think it's gone well, and I'm grateful for that. Yes. I'm ready to have that open again.
So are we. It's close. It's really, really close, and all credit to Absolute and all the subcontractors who have worked really hard to keep this one on schedule, and then Tanner and Bolton and Mink on getting ahead of everything this year to make sure that some of the issues we ran into last year didn't happen. And then honestly, Cami, and all the business owners to you as well, some of the reason we stretched out a little bit longer last year than we wanted to was because we were trying to keep all of the businesses having front door access, and that turned into longer durations of sidewalk construction. And we were able to kind of explain that obviously to business owners this year and try to see if we could get some more bigger runs of concrete poured at one time, and that has saved us a lot of time this year. So
yeah, well, it's good to be last sometimes, because then lessons learned along the way, right?
you're not the guinea pig. 100%.
Not the guinea pig. Yep.
So everybody
Any
last
idea?
year had the luxury of being done right away, but they also had to go through the longest duration. And yeah,
Right.
so.
And I mean, I felt that too, because any side of the square being closed affects every business on the square, and just the negativity of people. But hopefully we'll get past that. And I keep stressing how great it looks. And, I'm trying, when people come in and complain, where we take the high road. I've told my team to do the same thing. So
Good.
We're getting there. And
then, Kimmy, I don't think you were here last week, but we talked about it. We're starting to kind of schedule out alley reconstruction. We're waiting on a few things, on some means and methods from Absolute on how they plan on doing some of that stuff. They're still exploring some options. But the intention would be, if everything works out, that we're probably going to move to alley reconstruction pretty quickly after this phase is done. However, your block, especially, it's going to be the last one that gets done next year. So you'll have a little bit of a breather, but we're going to start on that east alley and then kind of work clockwise around the square. So it'll go east, south, west, north. That's subject to change. Then we'll see how all that goes once they kind of get their planning schedule out for next year. But at the very least, I think we're pretty confident that we're going to get started on that east alley pretty quickly, because that seems to be the alley that's going to be, from a timing standpoint, somewhat easy for us, just because IMU is already underground there. So
okay, so that's the one by Krause's?
That's where Regions Bank, that where the drive-through is there. That's it's going to be that's going to be the one that has the most effect on it. So
okay, all right, well, yes, well, I guess we'll go in the same order then, and we'll be last.
Yep. So that's the plan right now, and we're hoping it'll be a little less intrusive, just with some of the means and methods they're looking at doing. But obviously, from the backside of the businesses, there's going to be some disruption there, here and there. So
yeah, I just worry
it's all
about
going to be done,
like package deliveries and all that kind of stuff. But the alleys are very, very busy. It's amazing. I didn't realize it, but especially now, there's so much traffic back there.
Yeah.
And a whole nother issue, all the homeless people going through the garbage, and there's lots going on back there. I'll just leave it at that.
Yep. So, well, for your benefit, if you have any questions from here to next week, let me know. But from everybody who's watching on video as well at a later date and time, just reach out if there's any questions. And hopefully we're ceasing these meetings here in a couple of weeks. So we'll see how that goes.
That's exciting. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yep. Have a great day.
Thanks, Charlie.